he wouldn't have been injured, this would have never, they would have never even, been able to, whatchamacallit, to win in the postseason. Like the Warriors probably would have lost. And I said, no, the Warriors would still win the series. It would have been a lot tougher. They just had to make adjustments because the look at LaMarcus Aldridge, it's like his game comes and goes. So I don't know if Kawhi can do it on his own. And he did have a good team. You also have the Utah Jazz who were out, I think. Who was it? I think it was with Jay Crowder. No, not Jay Crowder, sorry. I think not Rudy Gobert. I think somebody was out, but I don't really remember. And then you have the Portland Trailblazers who were without Yusuf Nurkic. But people have said all that as if they were going to beat the Warriors. And it's like you have to play who's in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I just find it ridiculous. Also, what I don't like is this whole NBA Finals thing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have to understand the 2015 Warriors played a team in the Cleveland Cavaliers that had no Kyrie or no Kevin Love. The argument that Cleveland fans and LeBron fanboys and fangirls love to use all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, when did Kevin Love get hurt in 2015? He didn't get hurt in the finals. Kyrie Irving did, but Kevin Love didn't get hurt in the finals. Kevin Love got hurt in the first round of the playoffs against the Boston Celtics in Game 3, when Kenny Olynyk decided to pop a molly and pop his shoulder out of his socket. He separated his shoulder, and Kevin Love was out for the postseason. Kyrie Irving fell on his knee and further broke a ligament in his kneecap, and he was out. And he was also out. So, and the Warriors can't do nothing about that. And they're like, wow, they struggled to defeat the Cavaliers, and they still took them to 6 games. Y'all guys continue to forget that they still have LeBron James, and you guys continue to forget that they slowed the game down. Where, again, players were hounding Curry. They were being physical with Curry. They were doubling him. They were grabbing him. So Curry wasn't going to be effective. And this other notion that Curry didn't deserve Finals MVP in 2015 is also stupid. Andre Iguodala may have averaged nearly 20 points a game and shot 53%, but nobody's ever going to talk about this. And it's so crazy that people failed to mention this about the 2015 NBA Finals. But the Cavaliers did such a good job in slowing the game down that people forget who jump-started their offense again in Game 3 when the Golden State Warriors were struggling to score. He doesn't get enough credit. And I feel like he's the unsung hero of the finals that nobody talks about. People talk about the impact and the winning that happened when Iguodala was there. But ladies and gentlemen, no one ever talks about this guy. But David Lee. People forget that when he was inserted into the starting lineup in the second half of Game 3, the Warriors' offense changed. They started to cut, and David Lee stayed in motion the entire time. It caused the other players to move, and Steph Curry started to catch fire. Steph Curry was 8 of 17 from the field, and he had 27 points, and he had 5 threes. The only bad game that Steph Curry had in that series in 2015 was in Game 2. He was 5 for 23. He was horrible. He was 1 for 10 from three-point range. He was absolutely horrible in that game. And it took overtime to defeat the Warriors with the Cavaliers. They won, 95-93, something like that, I think, or 97-93, I don't remember. But my point is, it took them overtime to beat them with Steph Curry going 5 for 23. And it's like, that's saying something, ladies and gentlemen. Because I said, if you take away that series where he struggled like that, guess what his numbers were? He averaged 26.5 points. He averaged 5 rebounds and 6.5 assists. He ended up shooting 44% from the field and 38% from 3. And he also shot, I think it was 90 from the free throw line. You take away that game too, people forget that Steph Curry had a 37-point game in that NBA Finals where he had 17 points in the fourth quarter. Nobody talks about that. They just fail to mention that, saying that Curry's never been this playoff performer. And on top of that, Steph Curry would have shot 49% from the field. he would have shot 41.5% from the three-point line, and he would have shot 90 from the line, which he did. Ladies and gentlemen, what does that tell you? That Steph Curry nearly had a 50-40-90 with 26, 5, and 6. But because of that game 2, he ended up shooting 44%. But you take that away, Steph Curry shot 49% if you take that away. The only time he really shot horrible was 2016 in the entire series, with the exception of game 2, where he was 7 of 11 from the field with 19 points. And then in 2017, Steph Curry averaged 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, a damn near triple-double. It's just Kevin Durant was much better at 35 a game, shooting 55% from the field, 47% from the three-point line, and 93 from the free throw line. Curry wasn't going to beat those numbers. He wasn't going to beat those numbers. And I believe, so he wasn't going to win. But my point is, Steph Curry, to say that he hasn't balled out, and it's so crazy. Steph Curry, I believe, shot 43%, I think, in that finals. But because of that one bad game 4, if you take away his game 4, where he only had 14 points and shot the ball horrible, I think it was 4 of 14 or 4 of 15. And that's the key, ladies and gentlemen. Curry would have a much better series in terms of percentages if it wasn't for one bad game. And look what happened. How much did Curry shoot? You take away that bad game in game 4, Curry shoots 47%, 42% from the three-point line, and he shoots, I believe he shot 100% from the free throw line. No, he shot 92% from the free throw line. And I'm just like, wow. Another near 50-40-90 in an NBA Finals on a damn near triple-double, averaging just over 27 a game. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. And this whole notion that Curry doesn't perform, and listen, Kevin Durant hit the shot of shots in game 3. We know that. And Kevin Durant balled out. Like I said, Kevin Durant balled out again in 2018. Look at 2018. The biggest key for Curry losing his finals MVP was that game 3 performance. It was game 3. But ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for that game 3, Curry would have had another great series, because he technically did have a good series. He didn't shoot the ball great in 2018. But if you take away that very, very bad game 3, because Curry ended up closing out with 37 points in game 4, it's so crazy. Curry's had a couple of 30-point games in the finals, but people want to say that this guy has never played in big moments. Like I said, the real moment that he choked was 2016, especially game 7. But to say that Curry's never performed in the finals, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I told you, Curry should have been the MVP of 2015 in the finals. He should have been. He should have been. That was just the media getting on LeBron James and saying that Iguodala did this amazing job on LeBron James. LeBron James still got 35, 11, and 8. So I don't know where this crazy great job that Iguodala did. Iguodala made it tough for him, don't get me wrong, and he shot 53% from the field and nearly 40% from the three-point line. Like, he was great. He impacted the game great. He ignited their fast break. But David Lee doesn't get the game ball, and he doesn't get enough recognition for being the unsung hero for freeing their offensive spacing in that game 3 in the second half. They don't talk about that. But I noticed that when I saw that series. He got Curry moving in motion, where Curry was stuck on neutral due to the fact that he was being hounded and doubled every single time he touched the ball. Once again, you have to pick up Curry from half court when you defend him. His ability to space the floor is what makes him so dangerous. All he has to do is, if you overload on Curry, he throws one pass. Then that person dribbling the basketball can zip to the middle of the floor, and he has options. But Curry creates that, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. So this whole thing that the Warriors ruined the NBA, why are all these teams building their teams geared up for the Golden State Warriors? Because the Warriors are the standard bearer in the NBA. People don't like it because they're going to say, well, we already know who wins every year. That's on Adam Silver, to be honest. That dude is all about the ratings and making money. So we all know this. It's the same thing with LeBron. As I said before, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron is the cash cow, the individual cash cow, while the Warriors are the team cash cows of the NBA. I've said this numerous times. And that's why I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we have to really have to kind of look in our perspective lens and always look in both directions. Because that's how you show, that's how you can give objective, constructive criticism when you look at it from both sides of the angle. I never said that Kevin Durant was a better player than Steph Curry. He is a much better player than Steph. I'm not going to say much, but what I'm saying is he's the better individual player than Steph Curry. As I said before, man, the dude is a walking gazelle, man, you know? He is a walking gazelle, no question about it. Nobody said it. He's a transcendent player. He's special. Nobody ever said that he wasn't. But people have made misconceptions because of who they prefer, because of the bias. This is what the media does. They're trying to break this team apart. That's why they always come with stories. They're the ones who are prisoners of the second. And they brainwash the casuals to say, look, if the Warriors win, they're better without Kevin Durant. If Steph Curry struggles and Kevin Durant is balling out, having these crazy big games, oh, look, Kevin Durant is carrying the Warriors. What are the Warriors without him? I'm going to say it once again, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Durant makes the Warriors better. But when Steph Curry has the ball in his hands and the offense is run through him, the Warriors play better. They move better. That is the point that I'm getting across, ladies and gentlemen. That is the point that I'm getting across. So this era that the Warriors have been the dynasty, they have been the de facto. It's a testament to how they've built their organization, man. They've created such a strong culture that many teams should try to emulate in terms of trying to create a positive winning environment. This is why the Knicks have been clowns for years. I'm disappointed in the Los Angeles Lakers with what they've done with that franchise, and such a proud franchise, the second most championships in NBA history, one of the best teams in professional sports, and look what they've been reduced to, all because front office does not know how to make decisions up there. So when we look at the totality, have the Warriors ruined the NBA? No, they haven't. Why do you think the media wants the one to win, to break up so bad? Because they want to believe in this isolation that is LeBron James. Why do you think that Chris Bouchard has been his number one campaign recruiter, talking on his Fox radio show that, you know, LeBron could possibly get Anthony Davis, or Nick Wright saying that he could possibly get Anthony Davis. Look at Shannon Sharp today talking about, yeah, we're going to get all of them. We're going to get all of them. Yeah. Because they want to continue to push this narrative that LeBron is the greatest. And the fact that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant have stopped LeBron from achieving his goal, LeBron does not like Steph. The fact that Steph Curry has owned CP3 these last few years, CP3 can't stand Steph. And these were two of Steph Curry's biggest supporters. And at one point in time, ladies and gentlemen, weren't people saying that Steph Curry could possibly be the best player in the game in 2016? Did we forget about that? Draymond's intangibles on the defensive end make him very special on that end of the floor, and he's the defensive leader of the Golden State Warriors. But Curry's positive attitude, Curry's ability to space the floor, Curry's skills and intangibles on the offensive end to spread the floor and create the spacing necessary for Kevin Durant to operate so he doesn't have to worry about a double team and put into single coverage is what makes Curry so special. That's why I said that Curry has an aura about him that we probably have not seen in such a long time since that Michael Jordan. I mean, look what Curry does, man. Look what he does. Now, a lot of little kids want to emulate their game after Steph Curry, man. It's cool to shoot threes. Kevin Durant has become the Kobe Bryant of this generation, ladies and gentlemen. He's very polarizing. You're seeing more and more of KD's personality being on this team than he was in Oklahoma City. It's like you have an MJ and a Kobe at the same time. It's just one is very humble, one is very quiet, one is like he talks when he needs to, but he's not a rah-rah guy that's just gonna get in your face and just like yell. He leads by example. He brings such a warmth, such a positivity to your team. The other one has an individual skill set that is second to none. His ability to take over games, just like the number one, just like that point guard next to him. And he's a player that we have never seen the likes before in Kevin Durant. And that's what we have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole message that I'm trying to say. And Klay Thompson being an unbelievable component of this Warriors team. His ability to defend 2 to 3 positions. And it just kills me that that Klay Thompson still to this day has not made an all-defensive first team. At least a second team, but not even a first team. Which shows you the Warriors' bias. The hate bias that the league has, that people in the media and casual fans have for this team. Like, I know what the Warriors are all about, and people hate it. People hate the success that they have. People are gonna say, oh, like a lot of emotional, triggered fanboys be in the comments, oh, the Warriors ruined the NBA. I'm so sick and tired of Steph Curry and all this and this and this. You gotta blame the organizations for not putting the team together and creating the environment that is necessary to become a championship culture. That's who the blame is on, not the Warriors. They did their job. They did their job. Everybody else is not doing theirs and they're trying to catch up. That's why the Warriors are the most successful franchise in today's NBA. They're the modern day San Antonio Spurs right now. I mean, look at the bench. 3 straight games with 33 points, man. They find a way to plug guys in the system. Next man up mentality. Right now, you went from the Monstars, you went from the greatest team ever assembled, quote unquote, in the eyes of media and casual fans and haters, to now back to the 2015-2016 pre-KD Warriors strength in numbers team right now. The next man up mentality. Which is why it shows you that Draymond and Steph are the leaders of the respective ends of the floor. Curry may not be the best defender, but he tries on defense. Draymond may not be the greatest offensive player, and he shoots with it like he has a jetpack on his back. Or like if he's been tied to a rocket, or his body folds like a banana peel, but that doesn't mean that Draymond doesn't stop trying. And Klay Thompson does an unbelievable job in guarding his position and his ability to stay in motion and the ability to shoot the ball. And his game has come a long way. Iguodala with his defense and his intangibles. The bottom line is the Golden State Warriors, everybody knows their role and they play their role to perfection. They have their defined roles. They don't try to step on anybody's toes, and they play together as a basketball team. That's what it's all about, because basketball at the end of the day is a 5-on-5. It's not a 1-on-1. It's not a 1-on-1. And Curry and Kevin Durant are special, and the Warriors have not ruined the NBA. Somebody knocked this team off the right way. And you could be the one that said, I ended the dynasty that is the Golden State Warriors. When teams start to figure out and develop their IQ to the max and how to defend the Golden State Warriors and then how to attack them on the offensive end, is when you'll beat this team. And the only time that they could beat themselves is if they split apart, or if they're playing together, they beat themselves. So Kevin Durant, if he leaves, it's because the Warriors continue to win without him, and that he gives Steph Curry his time to be the Finals MVP. That's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. Unless if Kevin Durant wins his 3rd straight Finals MVP, which I think is going to happen. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, this is a long video. It's a 2-part video. I just wanted to do that. Even though I was supposed to stop in the first one, I just wanted to keep going to just prove my point and as to why things are geared the way they are and why the Warriors are right now, and why I told you Steph is the best, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, bless up, one love, peace. Thanks for watching.